Hey everyone, welcome back to Monday with Mallory. I am here with former Texas Legends guard Keith Hornsby. How are you? It's been so long. Oh no, did I lose you already?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thank you. It's has been a little while, but
I keep losing you. What happened?
is it I think I'm okay. I think my yeah, it only seemed to happen when you recorded.
I know. Okay, wait. I think I have you now. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it recording and then do the intro again for some.
Honestly, it might be me.
Oh no. I can't figure out why it's lagging. Can you hear me like right now?
I'm trying.
Gracious.
Let me move. Maybe that might work. Although it seemed to work fine before you recorded, which
Exactly.
is interesting.
Yeah.
I can try to move.
Okay.
Hold on. Is it any better now? Mom, I might have to try here because of might be a Wi-Fi connection issue there. Is this any better?
Yes, actually it is. It lags a little bit, but at least I can hear you now.
I don't know, wherever
Are you on cell or what?
I'm on Wi-Fi for sure. It should work. It has pretty good reach.
Try that.
Is this good at all?
Hang on, I can hear. Oh wait, yes.
Yeah, you're kind of choppy.
Yeah. Okay, it's a little bit better. Yeah, I think this will work. All right. Okay. Is it good on your end? I feel like it's a little bit better on my end.
My computer.
Yeah, you're still a little choppy, but it's serviceable.
Okay. Yeah, you're lagging a little bit, but maybe we can make it work and just go from there. Yeah, I feel like this is better. Okay, I'm going to redo the intro and let's try this again. Okay. Hey everyone,
Okay.
welcome. See, I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you until like 5 minutes later. Goodness. Okay.
You want to just try to call back
Yeah.
let me try to join again.
Okay, that sounds good.
Hold on a sec. I don't.
You want to do it on my laptop?
Izzo, stop it. Stop. Okay, I think this is better actually. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Mm-mm. Oh, wait. Can you hear me now?
I can. It's similar. It's similar. I'm on a laptop now, but it's similar to the cell phone
Yeah, you actually, this is
reception.
so much better. You're not lagging at all. And I still have it recording, so I know it's going to work.
Okay. You're kind of lagging though. This is my mom, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. You're really choppy.
Okay. I don't know what else to do.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never.
Yeah, I guess it's.
Can you do it just on the phone without video?
Do I have to push? No.
No, you're good. Your end is
Do I
fine.
have to push record too?
No, unless you want the video too. No, I'm good. Everything on my end is good. As long as you're on, then we're good to go. It actually is a lot better on my end if you just want to try it. If it looks like we're just having trouble, then it is what it is. So.
Okay. Let me go to a place where it's not this. Go to that little chair right there. That's fine. Thanks. That's big help. Okay, this works for you. We should be good.
All right, awesome. Okay, let's hope this works. Welcome back, everybody, to Monday with Mallory. This week I have with me former Texas Legends guard Keith Hornsby. It has been so long, and I'm so happy you're here.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. Yeah, it has been a while, but I'm obviously still in contact with the Legends people. They're good friends of mine, so always a fan.
I know I wanted to talk about kind of your decision to jump to go overseas. Obviously, you were a face of the team, loved by everyone and missed by everyone. What was it that kind of put that in your head of, okay, maybe this is what I need to do to make that jump for my career?
Well, I think in a way from a player's perspective, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, I had spent 3 years with the Legends, and that's more than most people do in the G League, and it's honestly more than I had planned to spend in the G League. And at that point, it was kind of like I just needed to have a change of scenery, and I wanted to experience a different kind of basketball. And in the same way, I felt like I kind of exhausted what I could do with the Legends, especially after that last season, my third season, where I thought, given my situation, I played pretty much as well as I possibly could. And I mean, everyone wants to play in the G League to get a shot at the NBA, and I just thought I didn't know if I could do that in the Legends system. And it was time to move on pretty much. And I think they understood that too. And look, like I said, I think they would have been surprised if I would have come back for a fourth year.
Right. I mean, I agree. It's the league itself is constantly changing. Teams are constantly changing, new faces. So it was surprising to see you there for that long, but you definitely built up a relationship with the fans and the staff. I mean, you led the league in 3-point field goal percentage at 48.5% and broke other records. And so that right there, you definitely left a lasting impression. I'm still here and I can vouch that we do miss you. But what do you think that the G League has provided you? What do you think that the G League has provided you to prepare you for being overseas?
One of the best things about the G League that I experienced was just the overall talent that the G League will forever have. Like I've always said, and many people in the G League say, talent-wise, the G League is probably the second best league in the world. I mean, you have multiple NBA players that are, or guys who have veterans who have played in the NBA, or just great prospects. So every night you're going up against really great players, and that helped me going overseas, kind of playing against. It almost made the transition a little bit easier to play against in the Euro game. Only in the sense of like the athleticism just isn't quite the same overseas. Now, don't get me wrong. There's overseas there's bigger challenges than the G League for sure, as far as this game to game stuff. But I don't know that's pretty much what it is. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the G League. I would say, unlike most of Europe, who doesn't really respect the G League, honestly. And I'm surprised, but I kind of understand it a little bit. Having been on both sides, more on the G League, the more I play overseas, the more I'll understand the differences.
Mm-hmm. And I've always heard that the Euro League is a little bit more advanced, the way they play the game, and just the players and front offices themselves. You were in Poland. That's where you decided to go out of the G League. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the club you were in. Can you kind of give me a little background on where you were at?
Yeah. So like the club has kind of two names, and the one that they present on social media for the most part is kind of their roots name, which is it looks like Twarde from American pronunciation, English pronunciation. It looks like Twarde Pierniki, but the W's are V's, so they pronounce it Twarde Pierniki, which translates to hard or kind of tough gingerbread, and it's not exactly intimidating, but they the Toruń, the town I was in, Toruń, Poland, great little city. They are known for one of the inventors of gingerbread, which is pretty neat. And then the other name is one of the sponsors of the team, which is Polish Sugar, and that's Polski Cukier Toruń. So that's there's two names, Twarde Pierniki and Polski Cukier Toruń, and it took me a whole year to really know exactly the right way to say it.
Yeah, and I wasn't even going to attempt. Like I said earlier, I put it in Google Translate, and when it popped up gingerbread, I was like, okay, something's wrong. So we were talking about G League,
Yeah.
kind of what the G League has done for you. But not only that, but you were signed to the Dallas Mavericks first before you were drafted into the Legends. What did being on an actual NBA team provide you for the G League and then for also overseas?
Coming out of college, jumping straight into that, the Mavs training camp, it was a 2 months that I will never forget. I mean, it was a dream come true in so many ways. I mean, being in the same locker room as Dirk Nowitzki and at that time, Darren Williams, and Harrison Barnes, and it was that time the Andrew Bogut's brief stint. It was amazing, and being able to go to practice with them every day and play in quite a few preseason games was literally a dream come true, playing on that court. And but I will say, going into the G League, having not experienced the G League before, that training camp kind of made me slightly delusional about how hard the G League really is. I had a false sense of coming into the G League thinking, I'm coming from this training camp, the G League is going to be easy. I was going against, these NBA guys every day. So now the G League, I'm going to go in and kill, which certainly did not happen. I had quite the rude awakening my first year, and really made me just have the utmost respect for the G League, a newfound respect. So the Mavs training camp, I'll forever have great memories from that, but it kind of gave me a false sense of the reality of how hard it is to make the NBA and how many great guards there are out there. Yeah.
I mean, the G League itself, I personally love the fact that everyone is just trying so hard to get to the NBA and reach their goal and their dream. Do you keep up with the league at all? I mean, this season, and not only with Legends, but other teams?
Yeah, Oh, 100%. I would check the box scores every day when I was overseas past year, and especially, of course, all the legends. Mainly because I'm pretty close with Coach George. I've known him. He was an intern when I was in Mavs training camp, and then became an assistant coach that first year with the Legends. And then, I would work out with him in the summers after my first year. So I love Coach G. He's when he got the job, I was so excited. So of course I followed all year, and also I know some of those guys, and I know a lot of guys on other teams as well. So I would follow the G League throughout the whole year, and especially the Legends who this year they had a great year. They had a great team this year. I mean, it was so different than my last year, kind of a dysfunctional group. This season was completely opposite. I feel like they kind of revamped their whole approach to keeping players, and it was fun to watch them have success because I'm that whole staff, other than maybe one guy, I'm pretty close with, including the trainer and the people behind the scenes. So
Yeah,
I definitely followed.
and you love to see it. I mean, I've kept up, over the past 3 seasons with guys who have come and gone. With that, is there any one player that you kind of have been watching more than others, or think, okay, I see it. He could be there.
Well, this year, so I've known Brandon Fields since I came to Dallas, and at that point we're in the opposite. We kind of switched roles now. He was the guy who had been overseas for a while. He's a little bit older than me, but he's from Dallas. He always wanted to play for the Legends since I've known him, just be around his family. And this year was his year to do that. So I was, following him. He's one of my favorites. He's just a great competitive presence and a good player. So I was watching him, and obviously, they had some point guards that are kind of taking his time for a lot of the year. But when he did get the lead opportunity, he was just killing. He had the franchise breaking, 20 assist games, and so I was happy for him. I wish they gave him the chance all year to be the lead kind of point guard, because I think obviously he's perfectly capable of doing that. But that's the G League is just you never know how things are going to go. So that's one guy. I'd say that's one guy. And yeah, I could say probably 5 more names, but that'd take another 15 minutes. So I'll keep it brief. But B Fields is the guy I was watching this, and also Dakota Mathias, because to me he was a guy similar to me. And he had a fantastic year. I think if I were to play under George's system, I would have had a similar year to Dakota. And I think if, he could have gotten a call up if the year continued and didn't get cut short. I thought he was heading towards that. So I admired him from afar. So yes. So
I completely agree. I mean, throughout the season, I don't think I ever saw him have even come close to a bad game. And like you said, the whole team was just phenomenal in my opinion. But I wanted to kind of jump back a little bit to your college career. And you ended your college career at LSU, which is close to home for me. I am from Texarkana, so it's like a little bit over there. So you love to see it, but you were teammates with Ben Simmons.
Hey, yeah, sure.
You were teammates with Ben Simmons, and obviously I'm assuming you're still friends. Is there anything that he's been able to give you, guidance or advice for advancing in your career or even your personal life, kind of juggling basketball and, being a family man?
Well, honestly, Ben's not really the man to give me advice on being a family man. He's got to work on the opposite areas of our lives in that department. If anything, I would give him advice there, but obviously I don't have kids yet or anything. But Ben and I have we lived together that year. They placed him with me because I was a 5th-year senior, and they thought you put him with the old guy that they respect as a person and is not going to drive him down the wrong path or anything. So they stuck us together, and we bonded, of course. He's a good guy. He comes from a really good family, and I don't, I don't really talk to him much about career stuff because my role with him is more keep it light. He has his life out pretty much 100% if I'm not around. So if I'm talking to him, I like to kind of keep it off the court sometimes. But everybody always asks me, you need to get him to shoot. You need to teach him how to shoot or something. And I kind of just brush that off. I'm like, well, he's got some of the best coaches in the world trying to get him to shoot. And that's, he'll do that on his own time. But, and it is, yeah, he's a hard guy to keep track of though, to keep in contact with. He changes his phone number probably every 2 months. And so I really just keep contact with him on social media.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I think friendships are definitely one of the most important things, especially with having a career and maintaining, just the day one. I wanted to know, he is pretty well known in the media, especially for his shooting. When you see things like that, do you kind of get a little defensive? And, how do you handle when people, like you said, talk to you about, oh, you need to get it and shoot?
I just think it's easy for them to have an opinion. And even I don't know really what's going on. I mean, Ben's in such the extreme spotlight. He's gonna get hate. If he has a game like he does at such an early age, especially now when social media is such a hub of hate. Kind of, it's just that kind of world we live in. But if people talk to me, it's mainly always about the shooting thing. That's what they always tell me about. Why didn't like I told you? And I've kind of come up with the guaranteed similar response every time. It's just, look, this is not his thing. And Ben's mindset is, why would I shoot if I can just pass it to somebody who can shoot better? And I tell them that, and they're like, well, okay. I mean, what teammate is not going to want to play with that type of guy? But also, he's an all-star now. He's under a lot of scrutiny for when the Sixers are kind of a so-so team. At some points, he's a young leader, but it's a role he was always going to have. He was always going to be that superstar pretty much. And now that he's come full circle into that role, it's crazy to watch.
I wanted to touch on the NBA for a moment. We get all of our information from Woj. I mean, if it doesn't come from him, did it really happen? He is the final say-so, and he spoke out on SportsCenter about 3 days.
Him and Shans.
Yes, exactly. And he spoke out on.
Yeah, those two are like a dynamic duo.
About Adam Silver and how restarting the season in 1 or 2 locations is a possibility. What are your thoughts on the future of the NBA?
Well, the future, I think eventually it's going to get back to, like it was with fans and, almost back to normal. I think it's going to take some time. I mean, that's what everyone seems to say. But for the time being, from a player's perspective, I know almost none of these players want to restart. They've been almost in off-season mode now for, month and almost 2 months now. So it's hard to, whip yourself back in shape. Most people haven't had access to gyms. So it's, they're kind of logged off or logged out, signed off a little bit, I bet. So as far as I understand why financially they want to try to resume this season, but, also no players want to play without fans. That's tough. The fans are, they may not get the credit they always deserve. Players take them for granted lots of times, but they're an essential piece of just experience. If you play with no fans, it's essential, like, scrimmages. And, I think the NBA will be fine, but, it's unpredictable. We will see. You and I, along with everyone else, will see what happens, and hopefully it'll all return to normal maybe in 2021. I mean, we will see.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about too, and not having Basketball. It is so hard for people like you and me who that's our life, and right now all we do have is The Last Dance, and I love having these interviews on Mondays because the episodes air on Sundays.
Oh yeah, they're
And
fresh in the mind.
yes, and I love being able to get players' perspectives, and I don't even have to ask you if you're a fan or you watch, because you met MJ when you were 4 years old. What do you remember from
You saw that, yeah. Well, if you couldn't tell from that picture that I posted, I was Space Jam had just come out, and I'd become a basketball kind of fan slash junkie since I was 3, and I used to wear my Michael Jordan jersey all the time. So when I met Michael Jordan in that picture, I was in a complete daze. I was just starstruck out of my mind at a young age, and I'm just like looking at him in awe. And my brother, who I have a twin brother, and he is not in that photo, but he was fine. he asked Mike at that same meeting, how did it hurt when you got stuck down the golf hole? And Mike answered him, "Oh yeah, it hurt." So he was fine, and I just like couldn't get a word out. I was just just in shock that he was actually in front of me and speechless. And we actually met him a few years later at an All-Star game. And he's always really nice to, as you can see in the documentary, to fans, even though he gets hounded, he's entertains, and then that's my experience.
Yeah, and you talk about Space Jam and how that was relevant when you met him at 4 years old. And then now we're watching the documentary. And also a little talk about a Space Jam 2 with LeBron. But I've been interested to know who the surrounding players would be for the movie. And what are your thoughts? Like, who do you think would be the stars with LeBron?
I would like to know more about the premise of the movie. It's going to follow a similar path, like they're going to have an enemy team like the Monstars. Obviously, I love to see like LeBron and somebody little, like almost like an Isaiah Thomas, but he's kind of declined from the stardom at this for the time being. Almost like a Nate Robinson, but he's out of the league. I'd love to see a Greek freak, Giannis. I think he's just meant for that movie, meant for that role. Anthony Davis. Yeah, I think the movie needs Kawhi Leonard too, to have that dry humor. I think he would be hilarious in his non-funny way. I think I'd highly doubt he would do it, but and I'd like to see Michael Jordan come back and like have some type of role in it. Although I highly doubt that would happen, but that would be just the ultimate, send off for like the fans of the original. So that would be cool, and even Bill Murray come back.
Yes, and everything come full circle. Have Michael make a little cameo. I think it would be something definitely, it would be great to watch. I would watch it. I'm excited. I keep up with sports reporter Kristen Ledlow, and she cracks me up because she is die hard Lola Bunny. That is what she wants. And, I'm like, hey, let's support it.
Oh, yeah. She's gotta come back. It'd be great to see like Michael come back and like dap up Bugs Bunny and hug Lola. that'd be just like phenomenal. So I'm with you.
Well, I am so glad that I was able to speak with you today and kind of talk about where you're at in life and Space Jam and how you played for a team that was about gingerbread. That's always interesting. So thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem. I'm glad it ended up working out.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Mallory Carla with Mondays for Mallory. Make sure you check us out on YouTube at Dallas Sports Fanatic. Thank you. Bye.